ward for treatment. Before starting the treatment, Israeli doctors took his sperm and froze it in a cryobank.
In England, the USA and Israel, young men of reproductive age give sperm before going through chemotherapy and radiation, as some of the medications can make them infertile.
Andrei lived for 8 years after the treatment. He died in the winter of 2004. 6 months later, Ekaterina remembered that his sperm had been frozen in the clinic. She decided to use it for artificial fertilization. Even Ekaterina's sister was against this decision, but the grieving mother stood her ground. Ekaterina knew that many women would be willing to have someone else's child in order to provide for their own.
Usually women who can't provide for their own children decide to do this. They can't buy an apartment. They are young and they try to survive, even if they have to do it this way. But that is a noble deed. She puts her own body at risk to make other people happy. It's very normal in our country.
There are mediator companies in almost all major Russian cities. They serve as the link between genetic parents and surrogate mothers. Konstantin Svitnev heads one of the largest agencies in Moscow. Every week, 15 to 20 people come here in search of a surrogate mother. About a quarter of them are foreigners from countries where surrogacy is illegal. The agency has a database of about 300 women who are willing to carry someone else's baby for a fee.
It's like one surrogate mother from the United States said, yes, this is a job, but it's a 24/7 job. And I totally agree with her.
Services at this agency cost about $60,000 US. The package includes finding a surrogate mother, medical exams, payment of the surrogate mother for carrying the baby, afterbirth rehabilitation, and legal aid with all the paperwork. Often a surrogate mother and genetic parents prefer to communicate through the agency without ever meeting each other.
Many people, at least in Russia, try to limit their communication with the surrogate mothers as much as possible. Not all people are ready to see a stranger come over, pick up their baby and say, "You are my flesh and blood, I gave birth to you." I think it would be a cruel thing to do for the genetic parents.
The agency rents apartments for surrogate mothers in this neighborhood on the outskirts of Moscow. Natalia Sergeyeva is a psychologist and an agency employee. She visits the mothers daily.
Surrogate mothers don't want their identities disclosed. They leave their towns because they don't want people to know about the surrogacy.
Alisa is a surrogate mother. She is about 30 years old. She has a family. Alisa doesn't know the genetic parents of her baby. Her task is to carry and give birth to a healthy child. It is the main condition of her contract with the agency.
I have the company's medical insurance, a doctor. Also, I know which hospital I will give birth at. I have a signed contract. I enjoy my normal life, and at this point I feel very comfortable.
After giving birth, Alisa will sign a waiver entrusting the baby to the genetic parents. The company will pay her around $12,000, and she will go back to her family.
Hello.
Hello.
So glad to see you.
Natalia stays in regular contact with Alisa. She keeps track of her mental state and gives her encouragement as the due date approaches.
So how are you? When? What are the doctors saying?
You know, every day I feel like it's going to happen today. I hope by the 20th it will come for sure.
The company provides Alisa with all the necessities during her pregnancy: food, medication, even clothing. All she needs to worry about is taking care of the future baby.
Some people adopt kids from orphanages, but others want to have their own children, related to them genetically. Call it surrogate mother, whatever, but we all understand that I'm giving life to another baby, and I will give joy to this other family.
After Andrei's death, Ekaterina Zakharova came to the Ekaterinburg family clinic. Her son's frozen sperm was in Israel. She wanted to use it for in vitro fertilization. Doctors decided to help her.
We found a way to do this procedure, transporting her son's frozen sperm from the clinic in Israel to our cryobank.
Doctors took the initiative and found a biological mother for Ekaterina Zakharova. Another young woman who did not want to disclose her identity agreed to provide the egg. Embryologists did the artificial fertilization. Gynecologists put the embryos in the surrogate mother's uterus twice. The second time, one of them attached and resulted in pregnancy. In November 2005, the surrogate mother gave birth to a boy.
I am very thankful to this woman. I'm glad that we worked together for 9 months. If you want a healthy baby, you should take care of the woman as well. You need to take her into your home and provide for her during these 9 months.
Little Georgi is a technological masterpiece of the 21st century. He is completely healthy and does not have any physical or mental disabilities. A typical boy with a very unusual story.
My son's life has been extended. My grandson looks just like him, but inside, he's a totally different person. It's my son's son, but he's not his replica.
Georgi's childhood is carefree. He knows that his daddy is in heaven together with the stars. Ekaterina Zakharova is not ready yet to tell her grandson the miraculous story of his birth.
Who is it? Tell me.
Daddy.
Where's Daddy? Where? And Mommy? Of course. Of course. What's going to happen in the future? What will he call me? It's not important what he will call me. The important thing is that the boy was given a life. And a good life, I think.
Over 3 million babies have been born around the world with the help of reproductive technologies. That could be the population of an entire country. There are no statistics saying how many of them were born to surrogate mothers. But it is a known fact that each year more and more children are born through surrogacy. Laura Camborier established a non-profit organization in France to help childless couples and single mothers after she herself took part in a surrogacy program. In 2001, she had a son. The labor was very difficult.
It just happened that I couldn't give a family to my son, give him brothers and sisters. I immediately started thinking about surrogacy. We decided to do it in the US. Surrogacy is socially accepted, and I knew going through the pregnancy would be easier for the surrogate mother if she could talk to friends and doctors about it. She wouldn't have to hide anything or feel embarrassed.
Laura found a surrogate mother for her future children through the internet. She traveled to the United States and met the woman and her family. In 9 months, Laura's son had a sister and a brother. The woman, who carried and gave birth to them, received $12,000. But the genetic and the surrogate mother also became friends. Laura Camborier could not hide the story of her children's birth from them.
We have always told them about the woman who carried them. We have albums with pictures of her. I am personally convinced we need to talk about it. There's nothing to hide, because for the most part, these are wonderful stories.
It is impossible to stop a woman from wanting to be a mother. Nature itself puts this desire in her heart. Surrogacy is a way of fulfilling the desire to have your own child. Modern technologies offer infertile women a chance, and almost every one of them would be willing to try it at least once. While we were working on this special report, surrogate mother Elisa gave birth to a healthy girl. After 23 years of unsuccessful medical treatment for infertility, the genetic parents, a middle-aged couple from Austria, finally have a baby of their own. Elisa decided to rest for a year before once again becoming a surrogate mother.